Hi everyone, thanks for joining us on our video, how to create a brilliant fundraising job description. We get asked all the time, what should we include in our job description? What shouldn't we include in our job description? How long should it be? What do I need to include? And so between myself, Femke and Rhiannon today, we are going to try and explain to you some top tips, hints and a guide really on what to include on your brilliant fundraising job description. Hiring talent is tough, and here at Prospectus, we count ourselves as a bit of a one-stop shop for all your recruitment needs in the beyond profit sector, whether that's recruitment advertising, a temporary administrator, a brilliant fundraiser, or exec search for a board member or for someone in a C-suite professional role. My name's Adam. I'm a senior consultant here at Prospectus. I'll pass it to my colleague Femke.
Hi, I'm Femke and also senior consultant at Prospectus. I've been here for 4 years, had my work anniversary just recently. Yay! And still learning about fundraising now. I really love it and really pleased to be in the sector.
Hi, I'm Rhiannon, also a senior consultant at Prospectus. I actually only joined in April, so yeah, it's been quite a fun ride so far. I'm really enjoying it. But previous to this, I was recruiting still to fundraising roles, and I have been doing so for over 3 years. So yeah, just really excited to discuss this topic.
Brilliant. So we took some time to put together a little presentation for everyone, and so we are about to go through how to write your brilliant fundraising JD.
Yeah, so I think one of the first things to think about is the importance of the job description. I think from speaking with lots of different candidates and applicants, it's definitely that first impression that people get of you. So really do see it as that shop window to describe the role, your organisation, and just think about how you can communicate why candidates would want to work with you. I think again, also it's a great way to kind of showcase what you're going to be looking for within applications and throughout the interview process. I think particularly the person specification within the job description is a real key indicator of that. It's almost a bit of a way where you can kind of match your shortlisting matrix and just be able to convey that to candidates from the very beginning.
Diversity, equity and inclusion. This is obviously a really important piece of the puzzle for all of us, but everybody, each organisation will be at a different stage in their journey. So really what we're wanting to do in the job description is make it as inclusive as possible, showcase your position on EDI, what's your kind of statement or commitment to that, what are you doing to kind of make your diversity and inclusion better at your organisation. And also kind of adding any accreditations that you might have that are relevant. So maybe you're a disability confident employer, maybe you could add that onto the job description, talk about what that actually means in practice. And we did some research that showed actually that 2 out of 3 candidates looking for a new role in the sector do really value those EDI initiatives. So I think it is really important that you do put this in the job description and stick it there kind of out and centre. At the beginning of the job description as well, why not have it there at the start? I guess crucially for all of this, you can write everything on the job description and you can put it all out there, but actually, are you doing this in practice? So internally having conversations around how you'll make the candidate's experience as inclusive as possible as well is really important.
So that sort of moves us on to what key information do you need to include in your job description for it to for you to run through everything. So first off, job title, you want to make sure it's not too wordy right at the top to really title what you're looking for. Second is salary. We in Prospectus in fundraising always show the salaries of the roles we are advertising. Whether that's a circa salary, so you want to state just a single figure and circa next to it, so you can go a little bit above or a little bit below. Do you have a salary bracket internally, which you're going to be appointing at? Are you looking to appoint to the bottom of that salary bracket? Might be worth mentioning that so that people understand when applying for a job what it is you're looking to pay for the role itself. Look at contract type. Is it temporary? Is it permanent? Is it contract? If it's temporary or contract, for how long? Might be even worth putting a little explanation as to why it's temporary. What period are they covering? What's the reason for the contract? Is it a maternity cover? Is it that it's a new role? If you take away some question marks from candidates applying, it becomes more attractive prospect. And that's the same with sort of, is it full time? Is it part time? Could it be flexible within that? Could this position be a job share for two people? What flexible working options do you have? Can you do compressed hours? Is there flexibility to run errands and take care of caring responsibilities during the day? All of these questions are becoming more and more and more important for candidates, as we sort of find our way through the period of time we've just gone through.
Yeah, and I think particularly kind of on that point is, location is a huge question that we get asked by candidates at the moment. I mean, we've all been in lockdown for however long it's been now, and with things opening up, it's definitely the first question we get asked. So it's really important in this section to just make it clear what your working kind of policy is. So if your organisation has just introduced a hybrid way of working, just make it really clear, how many days do you actually expect people to be in the office? How many days do you expect people to be working from home? If you've got a different type of policy, which is, capable of looking at things on a case-by-case basis for different individuals, then just state that and make it really clear, because it is definitely one of the things that people are looking to know from the very beginning before even applying to a role. I think what's also important in this part is, making sure that you've also got those immediate kind of relationships within this. So if there is anyone reporting into the role, how many people is it, what positions are they in, and also making it clear who this role reports into as well, just so that they get that initial view of where they're going to fit into the wider team. And then again, it's really important just to make sure that at the very beginning, you make it very clear what that process is to apply. So if you're looking for a CV and a supporting statement, referencing how long you expect that supporting statement to be, or if they need to refer to another document that might be on your webpage or, found elsewhere, just making that really clear, and then also setting those deadlines. So when do you expect applications to be in? And also, when are you looking to start that interview process? I think what's also just another point to mention on this is it can actually also be really important to, add in a sentence there as well, just to also kind of discuss that opportunity for having reasonable adjustments, just to continue that piece about making your kind of process as accessible as possible.
So we often get asked about candidate packs. Do we need to have a full candidate pack, or can we have just a simple job description? I guess whatever you call it, it doesn't really matter. There is just opportunity to build out your job description with more information if you want to. It might depend on the seniority of the role, how much time you've got, all sorts. But essentially, there is more that you can do, and the more the better. This is something that's not just selling the role, but it's also selling your brand and your organization to people that will see it. So why not add a bit more in there? You could, for example, have a letter from the CEO or from the line manager, and you could talk about kind of specifics of what's going on right now, what they're ideally looking for, a bit more of a personal kind of touch, basically, to the JD. You could also have a little bit extra insight into the impact that the organisation has on communities, on people, animals, whoever you're supporting. So really, you could add anything more on that to kind of showcase what you do a bit more. You could also add financials, and you could show some of your fundraising ambition in there as well. That's particularly helpful for senior level positions where they will be a big part in actually delivering those ambitions. Structure and kind of the actual organogram. If it's not in the pack or in the job description already, candidates always ask us this. So I would say, just put it in there actually, and then you can show people a bit more of who their kind of peer relationships are, who their team are, what the structure looks like underneath it.
Yeah, and on the background of the role, on a standard job description, we still want a bit of information about the organization, even if you're trying to be brief, and if you're trying to be sort of put a short job description through, we still need to have some information on your organization. And a simple 4-line summary about your organizational impact is really key to showing candidates that you want them to care about what it is that they'll be doing in the role. And that sort of leads on as well, not just what do you do as an organization, but this role that you're looking to recruit into, what is its purpose internally? A nice 1 to 4 line summary, giving a bit of background, giving a bit of narrative on what the role's purpose is.
Great. And yeah, also context of the role. So where does it actually fit in the wider income strategy? Does it have targets that fit into a larger team target? Is it a team target? That sort of thing. It might also be specific projects or things that you'll have a chance to work on in the role. So I think, anything that you add in here to kind of make this role stand out compared to other positions that you'll be competing against really in the market. And anything else that kind of makes it a particularly attractive choice maybe for the candidate coming in. It could also be things like a challenge that you've got ahead, and this person will be, playing an important role in meeting that. And then role responsibilities. So for this section, you want to have maybe 6 to 10 points. The key here is to keep it concise. So, this shouldn't be an exhaustive list of absolutely everything that they might do in the role. It should be the most common responsibilities that the person will be leading on. A couple of things here. So you could put the percentage of time that you think the person might work on those things, and that does help to bring it to life a lot more. So if this is a director level position, and it has elements of strategy, has elements of leadership and of fundraising, those could be split into any sort of different way really, depending on the role and the organization. So it could be that it's 60% strategy in one role, but it could actually be 90% in another. So it's worth really showcasing what the split might be, so candidates get a real idea of what your role is going to be like at this organization. And also you might want to put them in order of preference as well, or in order of kind of importance. So you could put the most kind of common responsibilities at the top, and then build that down to maybe the lesser ones near the end.
Yeah, and I think kind of similar to that point as well, I think when it comes to the person specification part of the job description, again, it's quite important to make sure that this isn't an overly exhaustive list. This is essentially, something that will match up, like I said earlier, to kind of that shortlisting matrix you will be using and scoring against throughout the process. So we tend to recommend kind of reflecting that role responsibility list and having, again, 6 to 10 bullet points. I think the main part in this section is obviously your kind of showcasing and conveying to potential applicants what skills, knowledge and experience you're looking for, within someone's kind of background. And so it's really important to just make sure that these points are relevant. So again, just have that thought process of what are you actually going to be scoring potential candidates against at interview? Also, what are you looking for within that supporting statement, as this is a list to kind of help give them a bit of that guidance and showcase that to you. I think, one of the things that can be quite common is, just to kind of potentially add in years of experience that you're looking for, which is actually something that we tend to recommend against. This can actually be indirect discrimination against one of the protected characteristics. And also I think what's more important is actually phrasing that fundraising experience you're looking for. So if you're looking for someone who's got a particular income stream, kind of specialism, make that the reference point of that point. And again, I think it's also really important to just make sure those points are relevant. So if you've got in there that the role, say for example, might need a degree or an alternative qualification, it's really important to actually understand, does the role actually need that, or again, this is indirect discrimination against one of the protected characteristics. And also you don't want to put someone who could be amazing off of the role. Essentially, this is a list to have people showcase where they could be a really good fit for your organization. So it's just important that if you've got that in there, we tend to recommend taking it out. Just usually, I think in our experience, we found most of the fundraising roles we work on don't actually need that as an essential. So it's just important to think about that point. And I think once you've got that list, it can then be quite important to also make it quite clear to potential applicants, what's essential, what's desirable. So, like I said before, if you need someone who's got a particular income stream experience, then obviously that would be an essential criteria you're going to mark on the supporting statement and also that interview. But say, for example, you might use Salesforce and they might not have that experience, but they've got transferable skills from using another, database or CRM system. So again, it's quite important to make sure that you highlight what points they can actually get that learning and development once in the role, and just making that clear so they're prepared as well once going through that interview process.
Brilliant. Well, I hope you've enjoyed that as much as we did. That was our little intro into how to write a fantastic fundraising job description. If you have any feedback or you'd like to get in touch with your job description to find out if we can help improve it or have some comments on it, then our email addresses are there. We're contactable on them. We're contactable on LinkedIn as well. So please do add us on LinkedIn. And if you do have any questions, if you do have any feedback, please do get in touch. It would be great to hear from you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Bye.